Hello, Commercial Integrator Expo, and thank you everyone for being here. My name is David Maldo, and today's presentation, get my little clicky, is on meeting equity. Now, this is a topic that sounds like a nice to have, make our meetings a little bit more fair, a little bit more, friendly for everyone. This isn't a nice to have. This is an important topic. Meetings are being ruined because of this. Remote work is being ruined because of this. This is a problem that we, the AV IT community, need to fix. So first, a little bit about the IMCA. Unfortunately, we only have one organization that is like the MCA. We need more of this. This is a nonprofit, vendor neutral, completely just out there to help the community, educate end users. They deserve all of our support. Please check out the IMCCA. And this is me. I've been in the space for almost 20 years now. I started at Wayne House Research, Telepresence Options. I did a lot of writing, hundreds of pieces of content. And then I realized that video is a little bit more fun and impactful, so I switched to focusing on my YouTube channel. And I have over one of the more successful YouTube channels in the space with over 500,000 views. And I speak at events like this. And if you follow my YouTube channel, you can catch my live stream every other Friday. And I'll leave this up here for a few seconds. This is my new business card. If you please point your phones at this, point your cameras at this, you will follow my YouTube channel free and get notifications for all my new videos. So let's get into the topic. This is our new hybrid flex office. And unfortunately, it's our old pre-pandemic office. We didn't knock down all the buildings and start over for our new way of working. We're making do with what we had. So let me explain the concept of meeting equity pre-pandemic, because it's completely changed, like everything else. Pre-pandemic, meeting equity was, if you wanted to be seen and heard like everyone else, you sat in one of these chairs. You showed up, you went to the meeting, and you sat in one of these chairs. If you had a presentation, and your boss is going to be there, and you want your boss to pick you over your colleague, you showed up so you could be as effective as possible. Now, sometimes if someone couldn't make it in, what do? Oh, don't worry, I'll take notes for you. That's not an effective meeting participant if you're reading notes afterwards. Or, you call in on audio. You'll be the voice in the sky. No one can see you. You're not getting the full attention. You're not as impactful as everyone else. You're just a voice. Maybe you call in on video and you're the one lone face on the wall that everyone's not even looking at. Obviously, this is a problem for our remote workers, but we didn't care about our remote workers. If our remote worker wanted meeting equity, you know what they should do? Put down the Xbox controller, wipe the Cheeto dust off your fingers, and get into the office and get one of those seats. We did not respect our remote workers. Then the pandemic happened, and we all became remote workers. And this is how we look as desktop attendees. Now, this picture looked good on my laptop. It's a little horrifying to see it big. I look a little tired there, but this is the basic look. And when the pandemic started, I thought we had a big problem, which was that people were not looking like this on video. They were connecting on Zoom, and they were backlit. You couldn't see their faces, the up-the-nose shot, the top of the head shot. I did a big family call with all my cousins, and everyone was like, why does David look so good and everyone else looks like a slob? Because this is what I do. So I got ready. I was going to make tutorials on YouTube, how to look good on Zoom, how to frame yourself, how to light yourself. And 1 week into the pandemic, everyone looked like this. Everyone got the memo. The power of human vanity is amazing, because people would see themselves looking like a slob in Zoom meetings, and they figured it out. So that's wonderful. We figured this out. Everyone looks like a newscaster, the framing. Framing's a big part of it. So what's the problem? Well, now this is what our modern hybrid meeting looks like. Yikes. Now, okay, first of all, there's 8 of me. I can't do the math. They should all be different people. I was too lazy to change hairstyles and shirts, but picture those are all different people. And then there's the one person who went into the office. Who's more impactful? Who are you paying attention to? Whose facial expressions can you see? Who are you getting eye contact from? This poor person who drove in spent an hour in the car, had to put on real clothes instead of pajamas, can't be sitting at their desk with their own little coffee maker, uncomfortable, and now they're the least important person in the meeting? This is completely unacceptable. The bosses, they want us to come into the office. They're desperate for us to come into the office. Who wants to come into the office to be that person, to be the least effective person in the meeting? We talk about, thank you for being here. We talk about earning the commute. This is the opposite of earning. This makes me want to never come to the office. I always want to stay home. Magnet, not mandate. We don't like it when the boss says come to the office 3 days a week. We like it when the boss gives us a reason. The entire team's going to be here. Some building exercise, something fun, something cool, something productive. But not this. Now, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done in a presentation. I wrote this out as a bullet point, and it just felt like a quote. So I made it into a quote, but no one else said it, so I had to quote myself. So it seems like a crazy egomaniac thing to do, I'm quoting myself. But I really mean this, and I think a lot of people believe this. I'm not going to drive into the office to be less effective in meetings. If I'm going to come into the office, it's for something better, not for something worse. So we have to solve this problem. So what is the problem? What are the meeting room challenges? I asked AI to make a very typical hybrid Zoom meeting room for me. And this is what it drew, and it's kind of a mess, but this is basically what you see. You could see the problems of lack of meeting equity. We have multiple people that we're trying to frame. And again, the end goal is everyone looking like this. And this is what our meeting rooms are like. Some people have their backs to the camera. It's a hot mess. So how do we fix it? Well, the first way is, this is an AVIT community. Y'all, everyone here, everyone in the magic camera there, you're problem solvers. This is on us. A lot of it's on us. Also on the vendors, I'll get to that. But a lot of it's on us. If we're aware of the problem, we could start making some improvements. Now, this isn't great, but it's a little bit better than the previous one, just because no one has their back to the camera. I'd like to have the camera lower. Camera should be at eye level. AI still doesn't get this right. You can't ask AI to solve this stuff for you. But it's a little bit better because at least there's some considerations. The more you know about it, a lot of it you can do yourself. Solution 2 is AI. Now, you don't think I'm going to give a presentation in 2024 without mentioning AI. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. Now, but there's two kinds of AI, and I asked AI to draw me AI, and it's a brain exploding with ideas. Now, when you think of AI, you probably think of ChatGPT and the AI, the new sexy, cool AI stuff that we talk to, and it helps us solve problems. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm not saying, hey, AI, build me a meeting equity room. I'm talking about AI in the products, which I'll get to in a second. The reason I don't ask AI to build me a meeting equity room is because it doesn't know how to do that. Look what it did. This is what I did. I said, I explained the concept of meeting equity to my AI bot. I think I used Copilot for this. And I said, okay, now that you understand what meeting equity is, draw a meeting equity room for me. And this is not good. The cameras are on a chandelier from the top, so we get a top-of-the-head view of everyone. It's crazy. But one thing it did understand, we need multiple cameras. We need a camera on everyone in the room, again, so that everyone looks like the home workers, people working from home, and not the poor little person in the meeting room. So there's two solutions to get cameras on everyone, inside out and outside in. The expressions inside out and outside in I got from Craig Durr, another analyst in the space. Craig, you're seeing this? Thank you for that. Those terms. It's a really great way to describe it. Inside out is a camera in the middle of the table. These are offerings from Neat, Poly, and Logi. As you can see, various crazy, wild, different designs. They're so different from each other. I mean, you can't possibly get them mixed up. No, it's only one right way to do this. You put a thermos in the middle of the table, and the thermos has multiple cameras around it, and they capture everyone. But the key is they use AI to figure out who to put on screen at any time. So inside out is great. The other option is outside in. A little bit more complicated, but sometimes a really almost Hollywood result, some of the outside in solutions. And you can see we have cameras all on the outside of the room, getting an angle of each possible seat. Now, some advanced implementations of outside in offered by vendors. Zoom has Zoom Intelligent Director, Question has Sightline, there's a WebEx option as well. And these are really advanced AI, and they have the multiple cameras, but they direct it as if it's a movie. When someone starts talking, they won't just get the person. There's a camera there and a camera there. If I'm looking that way, that camera will get me, and if I turn this way, this camera will get me, because it wants to get the best angle of everyone. It's really advanced, it's really cool. I think it's more than what a lot of rooms need, but it's nice to know it's out there, and for some rooms, it's the way to go. Some considerations when you're building for meeting equity. I hate remote controls. Actually, this one's pretty cool. Very simple. It's only 2 buttons. But remote controls for meetings, no. We used to have them. No one ever touched them. People are afraid of breaking them. The way meetings work, you walk in, and there needs to be a pad that says your 5 o'clock meeting starts, press here. That's the only way it works now. So no remote controls, no one switching from voice-activated mode to full room. The room has to do it all by itself. Users are there to have their meeting. They're not there to learn to use our technology. It's up to us, the AVIT community, to make it work for them. Another key consideration is integration with existing systems. We need to connect to each other. This image is really funny. I asked AI to draw 2 workers frustrated that they're trying to connect, one's on Zoom and one's on Teams. And it sort of got the idea, but AI always adds an extra element. The gentleman is upset. You can see he can't connect to the colleague he's trying to connect to. And the woman on the right, she's also upset because she can't connect, but she's also upset about some redhead. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what AI was doing, but considerations, start with your software. If you're a Zoom shop, you're going to stay a Zoom shop. You want to get gear that works well with Zoom. A lot of the gear works with everything, but there are some solutions out there that work better with Zoom, work better with Teams. You got to get those solutions in your room, in general, not just for meeting equity. Another consideration is productivity. When we used to talk about meeting rooms, all we cared about was connecting. If I could see you and hear you, and you could see me and hear me, we're done. Now we have all these amazing productivity tools. And this is another thing where there's no, here's a script, follow it. This is room to room, it's team to team. Again, it's depending on the AVIT community to know how everything works and to be creative. There is no template. If it's a marketing team, they have a different workflow than if it's a sales team, whatever it is. And the shape of the room, where the lights are, where the windows are, if they're using an electronic whiteboard, everything is custom. But the key is when productivity has to be a concern. It's not, okay, we got the meeting work, everyone can see each other on Zoom. Oh, now we should think about productivity. It's a starting thought point. Oh, yeah.
AI draw that picture for you?
Yes.
Why did it misspell productivity?
That's a weird thing about AI. It misspells words. Let me go back to this one.
Like it doesn't have spell check for itself.
Yeah, when I asked AI to create this picture of AI, I said draw AI, I said make it a ridiculous picture. And there's a word in there, ridiculous. I don't know, just AI does that. Yeah. But let me go back to, point it this way. The big unsolved issue, this is something I'm really concerned about, chat. My company's called Let's Do Video. I think chat is so much more important than video. Chat is where we live. All day I'm in chat with my partners, my colleagues, my clients, all day. We escalate to video when we really need to get something done, but the projects live in chat. Once the video meeting's over, it's over. Actually, with Zoom, the video meeting the transcript can get saved to chat, but anything you have is in chat. So when I'm in a meeting at home, I have Zoom or Teams on my main monitor, and I'll have chat on my other monitor, and I'll be chatting with people during the meeting. And I'll be chatting with people in the meeting. Zoom has chat within the meeting. Teams has chat within the meeting. If you're in the meeting room and you don't have your laptop, so all the remote people are chatting and sharing files and everything, and you're that, again, I don't want to go all the way back, but you're that one guy sitting alone in the boardroom who's out of the loop, that's unacceptable. And what some people are doing is they're making everyone bring their laptops into every meeting, and then they have a laptop in front of them. I don't know what the right answer is, but we need to solve this. Yes, Michelle?
Have you seen the 21:9 aspect ratio displays that are coming out now?
Oh, for the big, yeah.
And that's a monitor standard, right, for the ultra-wide monitor. But when you're doing a front row, a Teams or a Zoom call, you can see the chat.
You could, but
Now the integrators need to have, a keyboard and mouse in there, so that way the people in the room can participate.
that halfway solves the problem because they could see the chat up on the screen,
Right.
but if they're sitting at the chairs, they won't be able to type into the chat or download files or share files. So it's a step in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the wide monitors for sharing content. Yes, Kevin?
But, if you're in a room, you can, like a lot of the meeting platforms, you can join on your mobile as well. So you're in the room, you see the chat, and you're in the room as well, like so Teams does that, and it's also smart enough to say, hey, I'm not going to start the audio here and create those evil
Yeah.
feedback loops, right? So that is something that exists, but most people don't know it exists.
Yeah, there's a lot of solutions out there. Our vendors have been doing such a good job. There's a lot of solutions out there that users don't know exist. And that is, again, it's a step in the right direction. Again, now I can at least see the chat and participate, but I really want it on my, I'm still not as good as at home. At home, I got my files, I got my desktop, I can drag things.
Yes,
So
I
it's
know.
still not all the way there, but it is better. A final thought, there's one interesting thing happened after I finished this deck. I showed you earlier how I asked AI to draw me a meeting room, an equity meeting room, and it couldn't do it. And then after I finished the deck, I realized sometimes AI, my AI bot, is kind of dumb when it comes to drawing things, but it's kind of smart when it comes to text. So I don't have a screenshot of it, but I had a conversation with it. And I said, okay, we talked before about the concept of meeting equity. Help me design a meeting equity room. What do you need to know about the room? And it said, okay, David, I need to know the dimensions of the room. Tell me about the lighting. Tell me about the wall treatments. Tell me about the furniture. So I made up a room. I said, okay, it's 20 by 30. It's got a 10-foot ceiling. It's got windows on one side, a glass wall on the other side, da-da-da-da-da. Plenty of power, plenty of Ethernet. I don't want to worry about that. And a big, long table, rectangle table in the middle, and one monitor on the wall. And it gave me this long list of design. I mean, it said, you know, put cameras here and this kind of, and it even recommended products, which I don't trust. I don't, you know, when it gets that kind of information, I think it found some marketing thing, and it says this, you know, this speaker has a slim design, it'd be perfect for this room. Yeah, every speaker does that. So I don't trust it on the product recommendations, but it did have a fairly decent design, starting design, for where to set up the cameras, what software to use, that kind of stuff. And then I went back and forth with it, and I said, hey, you didn't mention Intelligent Director. You didn't mention Sightline, those cool solutions we talked about before. Why not? And it said, David, those wouldn't be appropriate for this room. Those are for bigger rooms. This is a small room. I said, okay, I accept that. I said, also, you didn't mention my little thermoses that I like so much, my center of table. And they said, oh, you like those? Let me think about that. Actually, that would be good for this room. Let's put one of those in the room along with the speaker bar and have them connected together to get the best angle. So working with AI, I actually did most of the work, but AI gave me someone to talk to, and at the end I had a room design. So don't trust it, but don't be afraid to play with that. So final thoughts, we got to earn the commute, telling our workers, yeah, drive in so you could be the tiny little person, pinhead person in the meeting that no one sees and is less effective. That's not earning my commute. Our new goals, everyone looks the same, everyone sounds the same, productivity, everyone's able to participate, making it easy on the meeting attendees, no remote controls, no having to sit in certain spots, no having to learn how the stuff works. And the big thing is, we're not done. We're still figuring this out. We have a lot of good solutions, a lot of new technology, but the problem is still bigger than the solution. So expect more improvements and developments from our vendors. You know, Zoom, Teams, Crestron, they're all going to be coming out with they're very aware of this problem and they're taking it seriously. They're not just seeing this as a marketing thing. They know this is a problem and they want to solve it. They don't want people to say, I hate using Teams because I have this miserable no meeting equity experience. I hate Zoom. They don't want that. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening. So pay attention to the space. Any questions? All right. Thank you, everyone. This was fun. See you next year.
Where can we find out more
Oh.
about you?
Oh, I forgot my question slide. Yes, for those who missed the beginning, I should have made this the last slide. Here we go back here, my new super modern technology.
I love your AI art. That's great.
My new super AI business card. Please, everyone, and all you people, magic people inside the camera, point your phones at this, and it should bring up my YouTube channel. And once it brings it up, click the subscribe button, and you'll get notifications of all my videos and live streams. All right, thank you, everyone.